Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Young and the Restless spoilers are in for Monday, June 30th, 2025. Fans can expect Chancellor Connor Floyd to confide in Abby Winters' Melissa Ordway, Lily Winters' Crystal Khalil, forces Amanda Sinclair Michelle Morgan to get honest. Meanwhile, Diane Jenkins-Abet, Susan Walters tries to warn Kyle Abbott Michael Mueller. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Make sure to check out our next week why and our spoilers. Here, Kane Ashby's surprises ever since the Aristotle Dumas reveal. Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn has been dropping one bombshell after another. Everyone is wondering what the truth about Kane's fortune is as well as his intentions for doing all of this. While Kane did admit he wants Lily back, there must be more to it, or why involve all these other people? There is also the bombshell that Kane dropped on Chance. That someone intends to kill Kane at the end of the week, and wants Chance to find out who it is. Personal conversation fans know that after the Duma reveal, Kane spoke to Lily privately. After Lily ran away, screaming for help, Kane spoke with Victor Newman Eric Breton. However, the patriarch wasn't interested in a deal over Chancellor. After that, Kane and Amanda spoke privately, only to have Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, crash the chat. At some point, Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman will meet with Kane. Even though Kane told Victor he wouldn't bring up Chancellor again, that doesn't mean he won't try to take it over some other way. I think that Devin Winters Britton James is right when he suggests that this party is just a distraction. That is especially true when you consider there's no cell service. Kane wants them all out of touch for a reason. There is a chance that Kane might also try to get Michael Baldwin, Christian LeBlanc on his side. However, Michael still cares very much for Victor. So Kane should proceed with caution. There is also Lily, who forces Amanda to come clean. Amanda might admit that Kane really does want Lily back, but she doesn't know all the details. We already saw Amanda try to get Kane to talk about what's next, but he wouldn't take the bait. So, Amanda might not know too much more than the rest of them. Monday, June 27, 2025. It is also reported that Chance opens up to Abby. Meanwhile, Diane warns Kyle about Audra Charles Zulika Silver. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Monday, June 30th, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what is coming up next. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Monday, June 30th, Abby's intel, Amanda forced, Diane's warning. Genoa City is rarely quiet, but as the sun rises on Monday, June 30th, an electrifying energy thrums through its streets, promising a day of secrets unveiled, alliances tested, and warnings delivered with deadly precision. The tension feels almost palpable, like the charged air before a storm, and no one feels its pressure more than Abby Newman. Her life has been an intricate dance between family loyalty, love, and her own ambition, but recent weeks have seen her increasingly drawn into a dangerous web of secrets involving Chancellor Winters. Abby, who has been navigating her new life with Devin Hamilton, has stumbled onto a piece of intelligence that could set off shockwaves across the business landscape of Genoa City. For days, Abby has been quietly observing the subtle changes at Chancellor, noticing conversations abruptly halted when she enters a room and the guarded looks exchanged between Devin and Lily. Initially, she tried to convince herself it was business as usual, a simple tension between co-CEOs who sometimes clashed over strategies. But over the weekend, a chance encounter at Society changed everything. Abby, slipping into the kitchen to check on an order, overheard a snippet of a heated conversation between Nate Hastings and Audra Charles. The few words she caught were enough to chill her blood, references to a takeover plan, a secret investor, and the chilling phrase, "Devin can never know." On Monday morning, Abby wakes early, unable to shake the images that have haunted her since that overheard conversation. Devin notices her anxiety and tries to coax the truth from her. But Abby hesitates, terrified of the repercussions if she exposes what she knows without solid proof. She loves Devin deeply and is desperate to protect him, but she also fears the consequences of keeping silent. Should she tell Devin everything, risking detonating a bomb in Chancellor Winters that could blow apart his relationship with Lily and send shockwaves through the entire company? Or should she stay quiet, hoping the storm will pass? Abby's inner conflict consumes her as she tries to appear normal. But her nerves are frayed, and even her closest friends can sense the tremor in her voice. Meanwhile, across town, Amanda, Sinclair finds herself cornered in a situation she never anticipated. Having returned to Genoa City for what she thought would be a brief visit, Amanda quickly realized that life in this town rarely allows for clean exits. Since her return, she's found herself drawn into Chancellor Winter's legal troubles, asked to advise on contracts and navigate the increasingly messy business disputes threatening the company's stability. Initially, Amanda tried to keep her distance, determined not to get sucked back into the high-stakes drama of corporate warfare. But the relentless tide of events and the persuasive urgings of both Lily and Jill have left her with little choice. On Monday, Amanda receives an urgent summons to meet Jill at the Grand Phoenix. Arriving in the lobby, Amanda senses the gravity of the meeting before Jill even opens her mouth. Jill, fiercely protective of Chancellor Winters and alarmed by the undercurrents of betrayal swirling around her company, lays it out in stark terms. Amanda must agree to stay on as the company's chief legal counsel, at least until the threat of a hostile takeover is neutralized. Jill insists there's no one else who can be trusted, especially given the possibility of moles within the organization. Amanda recoils, wanting nothing more than to return to the peaceful, independent life she's worked so hard to build for herself. But Jill's arguments are persuasive, and the fear in her eyes is impossible to ignore. As Amanda hesitates, torn between self-preservation and loyalty, Jill plays her trump card, revealing that Lily and Devon's sibling relationship has grown increasingly volatile and that Amanda's steady hand might be the only thing preventing a complete implosion. Amanda finds herself trapped by duty and affection, silently resigning herself to the knowledge that her life is about to become far more complicated than she ever intended. Elsewhere, the Abbott mansion vibrates with tension as Diane Jenkins delivers a warning that threatens to set off another round of chaos in the already fragile Abbott family. Since her return from the dead, Diane has been a polarizing force in Genoa City, oscillating between redemption and manipulation in the eyes of those who love or hate her. Jack Abbott, deeply in love and determined to believe in Diane's transformation, has stood by her, defending her from the barrage of suspicion hurled her way, particularly from his sister Ashley. Yet even Jack cannot ignore the storm clouds gathering on the living room. Her normally controlled demeanor rattled as she grapples with a message she's received from an anonymous source. The message is simple but terrifying: stay silent or pay the price. For days, Diane has been wrestling with what this could mean. Initially, she suspected Jeremy Stark or even Tucker McCall, but the more she analyzes it, the more she realizes the threat might come from within Genoa City itself. From someone who knows far too much about her past. Jack walks in to find Diane, trembling, the cryptic message still clutched in her hand. As she confides in him, her voice quivers, revealing the depths of her fear. She tells Jack she believes someone is determined to expose secrets she thought were buried forever. Secrets that could not only destroy her but drag Jack and the entire Abbott family through the mud. Jack tries to soothe her, promising that, together, they can handle anything, but Diane is unconvinced. She warns Jack that if they don't act fast, the Abbott family could soon be engulfed in scandal, and that certain people, perhaps even inside Jabot, cannot be trusted. Across town, Kyle Abbott is already wrestling with his own demons, though outwardly maintaining the facade of a devoted son and savvy businessman. Kyle continues to harbor conflicted feelings about his mother's checkered past. Diane's presence has driven a wedge between him and Summer, whose lingering resentment festers beneath the surface. Kyle is determined to protect his mother, but he's increasingly exhausted by the emotional tug-of-war, particularly as he's caught up in clandestine dealings with Audra Charles. Audra, ever the schemer, senses Kyle's vulnerability and has been subtly manipulating him, dangling promises of power and autonomy if he cooperates with her agenda. On Monday, the two share a clandestine meeting at Crimson Lights, where Audra pushes Kyle for information about Jabot's latest acquisitions and internal operations. Though Kyle resists divulging company secrets, he's clearly tempted by Audra's promises of a fresh start, a life where he's not perpetually in his father's shadow. Audra's flirtation and veiled threats leave Kyle rattled, aware that any misstep could cost him both his career and his family. Meanwhile, Summer Newman struggles to maintain her composure as her marriage teeters on the brink. She watches Kyle's increasing distraction with growing alarm. Suspecting there's more than just business between him and Audra, Summer, fiercely protective of her family's reputation, worries that Kyle's actions might not only destroy their relationship, but also expose Jabot to scandal. She decides that Monday will be the day she confronts him, determined to get the truth even if it shatters her heart. Back at Newman Enterprises, Victor Newman senses the shifting tides around him, acutely aware that Genoa City is full of predators, circling for any hint of weakness. On Monday, he summons Nick and Nikki for a private meeting in his office, revealing that he's heard whispers of a plot involving both Newman Enterprises and Chancellor Wynne. He suspects that someone, perhaps Audra Charles or an unknown outside player, is orchestrating chaos behind the scenes, hoping to destabilize both empires for their own gain. Victor, in his usual authoritative fashion, demands that Nick dig deeper, while Nikki urges caution, warning that rushing in without proof could trigger a corporate war. Victor, however, refuses to sit idly by and insists that Newman Enterprises will not be caught off guard. Amid these swirling storylines, Sharon Rosales finds herself unexpectedly entangled in the day's drama. Having finally achieved some measure of peace following her terrifying ordeal with Cameron Kirsten, Sharon has been focusing on Crimson Lights and enjoying quiet moments with her children. But on Monday, she stumbles into a tense exchange between Audra and Kyle, catching just enough to realize that whatever they're plotting could have massive implications for both Jabba and Newman Enterprises. Sharon faces a moral dilemma. Should she stay silent, or warn someone like Nick, who deserves to know that new betrayals may be unfolding right under his nose? As the day unfolds, every corner of Genoa City seems charged with secrets and suspicions. Abby remains perched on the knife's edge, trying to decide whether to reveal what she's overheard or protect Devon from heartbreak. Amanda, now reluctantly thrust back into the corporate battlefield, begins drafting legal strategies to shield Chancellor Winters from a potential hostile takeover. Even as she wonders if returning to Genoa City was a monumental mistake, Diane grows increasingly convinced that someone is preparing to destroy her. While Jack struggles to keep the family and his love life intact, Summer braces herself for a confrontation with Kyle. Certain that the truth will either save their marriage or end it for good, Victor plots his next move, determined to protect the Newman legacy at any cost. And through it all, Audra prowls the edges of every scene, her eyes glinting with ambition and secrets. A dangerous wildcard in a town where loyalty is always conditional, and power remains the ultimate prize by the time night falls over Genoa City on Monday, June 30th. Lines will have been drawn, alliances reshaped, and at least one shocking revelation will burst into the open, leaving lives forever changed. The Young and the Restless promises viewers an unmissable episode filled with intrigue, heartbreak, and the tantalizing hint that the biggest secrets are still waiting to be revealed. In this town, the truth never stays buried for long, and the fallout from the secrets exposed on this fateful Monday is bound to reverberate for weeks to come. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our America News YouTube channel for more update news.